coach for the under-23s. How's that going?
Yeah, it's been a really enjoyable year. You know, first and foremost, my job is to improve the development players within the 23s and 18s and try and make them professional and good enough in the four corners for the first team. And yeah, I really enjoyed it. This year's been a successful one in terms of team results. We beat our over points tally at 39 points. I think that's been the best since we've been in the 23s. So that's good and showing how far we've come as a group this year. And then in terms of pushing players up into the first team, we've had a few go up as well. So yeah, it's been a really enjoyable year. One, you know, hopefully the lads have enjoyed. They've developed. They've become better. And certainly they've challenged me, and I feel that I've learned a lot in the last 12 months. So you know, all round it's been really good. So
it's going well. That's good. We've seen the likes of Jordan Williams and Jacob Brown come through this season.
Yeah.
And there's more in the pipeline. People like Jack Walton, Matty Wolf, people like that.
Yeah, they're all individuals that I've worked with. As you said, yeah, Jared, Matthew Wolf. I've worked with Matthew Wolf probably since he's been in the academy 3 or 4 years. He's had a disappointing year in terms of injuries, but he's one certainly for the future. You've got Jacob Brown, who's done exceedingly well this year. Ben Williams, who's come in, he played a lot of 23s football last year and done really well, and it hasn't been a problem for him. I know he's been out of the team of late, but he's done really well, so he's an exciting one for the future, so I'm sure he will keep developing, keep improving by playing week in, week out and being in and around the first team. Who else have we got? Jared, mentioning Jacob. We got Victor as well, who's gone up there. He done really well in the 23s last year, so he obviously progressed and he's been in and out of the team this year. His chances have probably been limited because the two strikers have done so well. But there's still more to come through. There's like Ramel Palmer, we've got Sam Fielding, we've got Jasper Moon, Rudy Pesh, we've got Aidan Smith coming up from the 16s, Binsey, to name a few, like Gadgets. There's a lot of players there, but it's about them next year finding that consistency in the 23s, having that willingness to learn and improve on a training ground, which they will have. They're good human beings, lads that we can trust, and we're hoping that they can kick on and have a good career.
Yeah, it's just up to them to push on, really.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and we'll try and help them the best we can as coaches, mentor them, try and improve them with all the stuff that we've got in the academy, and then hopefully, you know, as you just said, once they cross that white line, it's up to them. But we can really try and focus on their improvement in the four corners. That when they do get pushed up with the first team, they've got to grab it with both hands. And we're all aware of that. As professional footballers, it's down to you then as an individual to be able to keep progressing and keep improving, and then ultimately being able to deliver out there on a match day.
Yeah, that's great. Well, you're obviously enjoying what you're doing. From what I've seen, you're doing a great job as well.
Thank you.
But was it always your ambition to get into coaching after playing?
Yeah, I think so. Towards the latter stages of my career, you start thinking about life after football. And I always knew that I wanted to stay in it. Looking at coaching, being a coach, being a manager, I took my coaching badges at 32, 33, and then I was grateful to the academy guys at the time inviting me in to work with the younger boys. And at first it was quite, it's different, very different to suddenly being a player to then being like a teacher, really. All eyes are on you. You have to make sure the sessions are structured. You have to challenge the individuals. You have to have the session plans. And at first it was quite daunting. It was different. But like in anything, in time, you become better. And certainly after working in here for 6 months, I think it was the under 13s, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I knew that's what I wanted to be, was to go into coaching and try and be the best I could be.
Oh, that's good. Coming back to your playing career, you started at Cheltenham, I think, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then moved to Watford?
Yeah, Watford. Well, so originally I was at Coventry as a kid.
Well, yeah,
Coventry as a kid.
In terms of league
in terms of my league appearances, it was Cheltenham Town. It's my hometown club. Steve Cottrell signed me. So yeah, everything was nice. Living being in my home environment, being with my family, yeah, both just matched, and you know, I had a good few years there, and then obviously went on to Watford, and then here.
Yeah, and Watford, nothing really happened for you, did it?
Yeah, it was difficult. I think I was a bit of a home bird, Cheltenham. Like my mum, all my family was there. Everything was done for me. You know, I knew everyone at the club. It was only a small club. I was ever present in the team. But then when I went to Watford, and then suddenly, you know, you're in a hotel on your own, you're living away from home, the big city, big players around you, some massive, you know, big club. I enjoyed it for the short time I was there, but I was competing against Ashley Young, and that season they started off really well. They were top of the league, so top of the league in the Championship after 10 games. I think it was 9-10 games I left. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get Ashley Young out of the team. Basically, I would try my best in reserve, scoring goals, and I knew it was a vital point of my career, 24, 25, that I needed to be playing games. And I knew at the time that I wasn't playing at Watford, that my agent had spoke to myself, seeing how I was, and I spoke to Ailey Boothroyd. At the time, Swansea and Barnsley were still really keen to bring me in, and they obviously they could see that I wasn't playing. I was telling my agent I was frustrated. I went to Swansea, I came here afterwards, and straight away I felt in Andy Ritchie's company and what he said to me, I felt this was the right decision, so I ended up coming here.
And it worked, didn't it?
Yeah, thankfully, it's really worked. You know, the club has been, club's been great to me. You know, it's fantastic, great memories. Still now love coming into the club, really enjoy it. Yeah, it's a club close to my heart, and I've never sort of like, you know, I've had probably the best years of my footballing career.
That's great. Alan here will ask you some questions about your time here.
Yeah.
Well, starting 2006, we got to the playoff final after beating Huddersfield.
Yeah.
What was it like coming out at the Millennium Stadium?
Yeah, it was hairs on the back of your neck, standing up, all your emotions. You're so proud, but yet you're so nervous, excited, all sorts of emotions. You know, your family are there. You want to do well for the club. You know, the end goal is getting promoted to the Championship, which is massive. And then, like you say, walking out the tunnel, and there's, what was there, 60-odd thousand, half Swansea, half Barnsley. Yeah, it's quite daunting, but you're excited. You just want to go out there and play, and obviously you just want to win, and you'll do everything you can to win.
And you put that ball across, I think, for Reed.
Yeah, Paul Hayes.
Oh, Hayes, sorry, Hayes.
Paul Hayes on the right, yeah.
What a ball, yet again, to get us back into the game, I think. Did we score first?
No, we scored first, yeah. So I remember go down the right wing. Again, I just worked that half a yard, Andy Ritchie, and it was Rick Holden at the time. Obviously, he was a good winger. He worked on me all year about just, once you have that space, we work that yard, just get the ball in the box. And, you know, we worked in training all the time to get numbers in the box. Hazy used to do it really well. It landed on him. He come inside, and I think it was his first touch, second touch, he finished it across the keeper. So yeah, we went 1-0 up against a run of play, I think. And then it was the man Rory Fallon.
Yeah.
Yeah, he scored a great goal. And to be fair, they probably, with that Barnsley team, I never felt kind of, even when we went a goal down or when teams were on top of us, maybe dominating, I never felt like we had that spirit within the camp where we never stopped until the 90th minute or gone the 90th minute. So I always knew there was something in us to come back, even when we went 2-1 down.
And I think they were the 5 best penalties I've ever seen taken by Barnsley players.
Yeah, it's interesting you say that, because the day before, 2 days before, it'd be 2 days before, we were out here practicing, and they were really poor, the penalties. So when some of the boys, I won't name names, when they went up to take the penalties, I was like, you know, I was saying my prayers. I think my fingers were crossed, my toes were crossed, my teeth were crossed. But yeah, on the day, the penalties were fantastic. And I think, you know, like the best team went through.
What was the feeling then when we actually got promoted back up to the Championship, and what was the after match party like? Yeah,
so again, sheer emotion. Just, you know, like I obviously went up to the Championship with Watford, didn't really play, so I just felt it was another opportunity for me to go and prove myself in the Championship, and I wasn't going to let this opportunity down this time. So yeah, really proud. You know, it was a great day for the fans. It was a great way to go up. You know, everyone nervous with the penalties, but the spirit of the team, I think, shone through in the end. The character of the team. It's quite funny. I didn't. After the game, I got pulled to do the drug testing. So I missed probably 20-25 minutes because you're dehydrated. So you're having to drink water. So I was straight pulled in. So I missed the initial first 20 minutes in the dressing room. But I certainly made up for it afterwards.
Did you pass the test? That's the question.
Yeah, well, I played, so yeah, I certainly did. Yeah, I was okay.
Moving on then to 2008, what a fantastic cup run. Did you expect, after beating Southend in the 4th round, 1-0, to go on to get Liverpool at Anfield?
No, we didn't, and that's what the FA Cup brings, isn't it? So to go to Liverpool, it was a day where we hadn't worked on much all week with Simon Davey. It was just one of them, kind of a release from the league, the pressure. So I don't think we were doing that well at the time. And it's a case of just go and enjoy yourself, you know. Go to Anfield, you've all got aspirations to play at the top, play at a big club, play against the best players, challenge yourself and see how you do. He didn't name the team until just before, I think in the hotel, just before we went there. A little story for you actually, we went for a walk. You have your pre-match and we went for like a 10-15 minute walk with Simon Davey. Just around the hotel, just to stretch our legs. And a bird pooed on his shoulder. So we were like winding him up. So afterwards, yeah, obviously we won. And I think that was that little bit of luck that we needed. Because we certainly got it on the day. But fair play to the boys. You know, it was the performance Stevie put in was fantastic. It was a lot of defending, yeah, but again we showed character. I think Brian Howard, to score the winner in the way he did and kept going was great. To win at Anfield, it's what dreams are made of, you know. But I think before the game, all my family were there, and I looked round and it was the "You'll Never Walk Alone," and a few of us had tears in our eyes because you have that moment, and probably as fans you don't see it. But you know, I dreamt of playing there and stuff, and you know, all the legends that have played there, and it really got to me. And I had to sort of compose myself. I mean, I've got a game to play, but I did have tears in my eyes. So yeah, great occasion. I'll never forget it. And when I do, you know, you do have through Facebook now and social media. That's the first thing that I had to will bring up when we think about the Liverpool game. But yeah, great memories for everyone. And you know, every time I watch Liverpool on the TV, I've just got that little, yeah, I've played there and I've won there. So really, really good.
What are you feeling though when Brian Howard, it was blatant penalty?
Yeah.
And then he's chasing referee, and then all of a sudden he gets back up, a ball comes to him and puts it in that bottom right hand corner. I mean, us as fans who were there, it was amazing. What were the players?
Yeah, it's just bizarre. But when you're out there, you haven't got time to think about it. It's like, you know, messages now. You tell the players it's your next job. You don't want to be the one to let the lads down. So you know that incident happened. You're moaning a little bit, but then you've got against those players, you can't switch off, so you're thinking get back into shape, do your defensive duties right. The next thing it breaks again, Brian gets on the ball, comes inside, beats 1-2, and it's in the bottom of the net, and you just think, you look at the clock, it's 90 minutes, this is game over, we're winning this. So yeah, it's just an unbelievable experience, but yeah, what a great day.
And, sorry, I was just going to say, coming back to the equaliser, you put a brilliant ball in from the right.
Yeah.
Did you expect Fozzie to be on the end of it?
No, I didn't. I didn't actually. You know, again, it was a case of, you know, the lads said to me at half time, just keep working your yard, try and get across in the box. Obviously, we had some big lads up there. Fozzie was in the box, so I've just worked my yard, got the cross in, and thankfully, you know, Fozzie rose really well. I think the keeper on the day was quite poor. He should have saved it really. But it's a great header. Yeah, then it's sort of in that moment you're like, wow, we're 1-0 up against Liverpool and they've absolutely pulverised us, but we're winning 1-0, and that's why we all love football.
And then what was it like to pull Chelsea out at home?
Yeah, and again, so you get Chelsea and you think, right, we're at home. For the club it's fantastic. Revenue, money, all the fans can be here. Let's make it a fortress. Again, the manager never put any pressure on us. We never really focused on Chelsea. We never looked at anything in the week in terms of a game plan. it was a case of just go out and enjoy it. The stadium's going to be packed, it's going to be on TV, there's millions of people watching. Go and enjoy it and see if you can cause a big upset. And that's how we approached the game. Didn't really need to do any analysis because you're watching them every Saturday night and you know the top players, you know their strengths, you know their weaknesses. We know that they had to have an off day and we had to be on the button, so to speak. And I think on the day we done really well. Yeah, there was a few clearances off the line, but sometimes it's written in the stars, and that was here. I don't think there's been, I might say that because it's me, but I think I've never seen a better atmosphere than that night. It was unreal.
Yeah, Saturday evening, and another pinpoint cross by yourself.
Again, a bit fortunate, I think. Just put it into areas. Just always try and put the ball into good areas for the striker to go and attack it. And Kay's got it really well. His timing was fantastic. Keeper didn't know whether to come for it, and he's headed it. And again, like in that moment, it's just unbelievable. You're thinking, these players are the best in the world, and you're beating them 1-0. Can we hold on to it? And I think that was sort of our messages to one another. Let's just be solid, let's be defensive, let's not try and overplay, let's get it into their last third as quickly as we can. And we did it, and we went on to win 1-0, and like the Liverpool game, a fantastic memory for me, and one I kind of like to tell the kids now and again.
And then we move on to his first semi-final since 1912.
Yeah.
At Wembley. How did that feel? Have you been to Wembley before, Martin?
No, hadn't played at Wembley. I'd obviously had the 2 playoff finals with Cheltenham, 1 League 2, obviously the playoff final at the Millennium with Barnsley. So yeah, we went there full of confidence, and it was a game where, leading up to it, we did a lot of stuff on sort of psychology. We had a psychologist come in. We did a lot of stuff on the opposition. So it was a different approach, and I think maybe if we'd have been a little bit more relaxed, we might have done better.
I think we did too much.
Yeah, I think we did too much, and maybe over analysed it. We had a few days away in the hotel. It made a lot of us very nervous. There was, I won't name names, but some of the boys who had played a lot higher, I've never seen them so nervous the day before the game, and certainly the morning of the game. Some of them couldn't even eat breakfast. You can imagine the knock-on effect. Like, you're thinking, this kid's usually really confident, and then when it comes to the big game, really nervous. So fans don't always see that side of it, and it can affect people in different ways. But we knew the magnitude of the game. Again, as a young whippersnapper, always wanted to be a professional footballer. Always dreamt of playing at Wembley. You always want to play in an FA Cup final, but I think a lot of us treated this as this was going to be our FA Cup final, the semi-final. Fantastic day for the fans again. They were brilliant on the day, but it was just that first goal was a poor goal to give away.
Joe Ledger scored it.
Yeah, it was like, I don't know if he really meant it. He just helped it on. It ended up in the top corner. So yeah, we were always chasing the game, but I still felt, you might allude to it in a minute, I still felt we had 1 or 2 opportunities where, we could have got back into the game.
One in particular.
Yeah, one in particular. And certainly towards the second half, we were the better team, and they were hanging on in there. And when you're in the game, you as a player, you can feel it. We felt like we've got this. Let's keep to it. Let's keep doing the things that we want to do. Let's keep getting into last third. Let's keep getting into the big man, and we can cause them problems. Get Brian on the ball, he can create. But we found that split pass, which broke a line. Coyote's in, I'm behind him. I'm probably celebrating before he's even...
As we were,
yeah,
we were.
I think everyone in the stadium was. We're all like just about to celebrate, and it's obviously he's just got his angles wrong. In that moment, I know as a player, in that moment, there'd have been a lot of pressure on him. But bless him, he just missed it, and he got us there, so we can let him off that, not a problem.
I think 9 times out of 10 he'd put it away.
Yeah, but it's just that pressured moment, isn't it? That's the difference between top players and the levels that you play at.
Moving on from that one, Martin, after Wembley, we went on to Watford, didn't we? And he scored a brace then, killed it.
Yeah, he was fantastic, and he kept us up in the league that day. It was a I remember it well. It was a nervy few days. All of us were down, as you can imagine, after the game. disappointed with ourselves that we didn't win the game. We'll certainly do better. So yeah, to pick ourselves up the way we did and go to Watford, and certainly Kay shows what sort of character he had to bounce back like he did, and he scored the 2 goals and he kept us in the league. So we can let him off for that miss.
That's fine. Yeah, I think you're right there, because everybody thinks KOD, what a miss, but like you say, he got us there in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he got us out of jail afterwards, so we can forgive him for that, can't we?
Of course we can. He's a great guy. He's a great guy, Kay. He's a lovely guy. He's someone you certainly wouldn't want it to happen to, but it did. Never mind.
It's just one of those things, but great memories for you as a player and us as fans. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, when even now, with social media, it still comes up. But we'll never, as a fan now, I'm a fan. Yeah, we'll never forget it.
You say you're a fan. You obviously live now in the area, yeah?
Mm. Yeah, since I moved up, what have I been here now? 14 years.
Yeah.
So from the day I signed, I moved. I felt that was essential, that I had to find a house straight away. I was bought a house just round the corner here from the ground. I was here for 2 years, and then I ended up moving to closer to Oxford and Penistone, and I've lived there ever since. Mm. Obviously, my two boys were born in Barnsley General. They're Barnsley fans. So yeah, we're kind of like adopted Yorkshiremen now.
It just seems to be a common thread with people. We've interviewed about 14 players, ex-players now, and most of them have come from somewhere distant, the likes of Ronnie Glavin, Derek Parker. They've come from different places, but they seem to adopt Barnsley as a home. Do you feel that?
Absolutely. Like I said, I've lived here now 14 years. Why wouldn't I? It's a great place. Honest, hard-working, loyal people, and I just felt, excuse me, I just thought it was a great place to bring my kids up. And I've never looked back, and we love living here. The kids go to good schools. And like the club has been the club for the 7 years I played here, and obviously now with the coaching, I've been here a long time. 4 or 5 years coaching in the academy, and full-time 3-4 years. The club's been fantastic to me, and I'm always trying to give back. Every day I come in, I love being in at the club. I love improving. I love helping the players. I love being around the people. So yeah, it's been good, and it's home to us now. And like I say, my boys are Barnsley born and bred, so we'll be staying here, I'm sure, for a long time.
That's brilliant. Thanks a lot, Martin. Thanks for the interview. It's been great to speak to you, and thanks for all the memories.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
Cheers. Thank you.